Everybody to Weather Center Live on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Dave Schwartz has the day off, but it has been a gloomy day up and down the East Coast. So far, though, it has been dry, but that may be changing, and we're going to show you the forecast coming up in just minutes.
Yeah, get that plan B ready to go. You know, the game of Monopoly, some card games, you know, something.
A Netflix,
there you go.
Marathon, whatever you need to do. The packs that we mentioned. Right now, the heaviest rain is generally offshore, although we have seen some heavier showers right along coastal sections of North Florida, but into Georgia and South Carolina. It's been generally offshore, save for a few of these showers. They're in far eastern and southeastern parts of the state of Georgia. There's a look at the rain showers right around Jacksonville, especially the north side of Jacksonville. We've actually seen some heavy rain showers. When you get those oranges, those reds, that's indicative of the heavier rain. Everything's staying offshore up onto coastal North Carolina. Outer Banks, though, we'll be watching for showers in days to come. Coastal flood advisories, they're posted for parts of southeast Virginia and into the state of Maryland. So, again, that's just one of the effects, one of the issues that we'll be dealing with as we watch these disturbances. Winds, they've been breezy, even gusting over 30 miles an hour. In Hatteras right now reporting wind gusts 33 miles per hour. Winds gusting to near 30 miles an hour in Virginia Beach, 23-mile-per-hour gusts for Wilmington, and in Myrtle Beach, it's a 14-mile-per-hour wind that you're dealing with. So hold on to your hat kind of weather. Wave heights right now almost 10 feet off of the state line between North Carolina and Virginia. Well, in Delmarva Peninsula, 9 feet wave. So rough surf, rip currents will be a big problem out there. Although the weather is not going to be super inviting to go get in the water, something I definitely want to mention, because in the water is going to be a dangerous place to be. We've got those areas of low pressure offshore, high pressure to the north, and that keeps a persistent northeasterly wind flow, and that's going to allow for these coastal problems. Rip current threat all the way from the Outer Banks up into parts of coastal sections of Massachusetts, and those can be really dangerous. So, you know, Kelly, while we've said I think a lot of people aren't going to want to get in the water, you want to mention it because it's going to be a dangerous spot to be this week.
Yeah, even for strong swimmers. Yeah. Those rip currents are no joke, and they're going to be strong, and they're going to be actually a problem for us in the Northeast as well, as we're tracking not one, but two coastal storms right off the East Coast. Let's first of all show you the wind impact here. As we go into Thursday night, you'll see the winds around Norfolk, Virginia Beach area between 15 and 20 miles per hour. But watch what happens as we go into the day on Friday. Look at that. We're up to 25-mile-per-hour winds between Norfolk and Ocean City down toward the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Stays kind of breezy for you, but really the winds are going to be intensifying and really strengthening up here across the Delmarva and along the coast of Virginia as well, right through the first half of the weekend at least. So with that strong, persistent wind, you've got that coastal flooding potential. We got the first disturbance that's moving backwards or retrograding into the state of Georgia. That's going to bring in that chance for showers and storms between Savannah and Myrtle Beach. And then, of course, we've got this other disturbance developing just off the East Coast. Not really tropical in nature, but still we will have the persistent wind coming right at us here across the mid-Atlantic, New England. It is going to be pretty wet next week, and especially with the moon being close to the earth right now, perigee, that really emphasizes some of the coastal flooding we could see at high tide. So here's a look at our coastal troubles for Friday. Showers and thunderstorms between Raleigh, Columbia, South Carolina. Some of you do need the rain, so our lawns and gardens may be thanking us, but as we go into the weekend, be prepared for the wet weather as far north as about our nation's capital. Some areas could see as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain, with a little bit more right here along the coast of North Carolina.
And they had sunglasses out there on that balcony. Right now, temperatures around the D.C. area are in the mid and upper 70s, 78 degrees for D.C. Plenty of sunshine. The visible satellite showing any of those clouds down over the Delmarva Peninsula. Perhaps a few high, thin clouds from time to time, but the overcast skies, the real gloomy weather, that's been off to the south into parts of southeast Virginia and through the Carolinas. By Thursday, notice the rain still well south. A few extra clouds for Philly and D.C., but still plenty of sun around New York City and points off towards the north. By Friday, rain getting closer to D.C. with overcast skies for many of those cities along the southern parts of at least the mid-Atlantic stretch of I-95. 76 for Philadelphia. In D.C. tomorrow, though, it'll be dry, just a few extra clouds, 81 degrees. New York, partly cloudy on Friday with temps at 74. And for Philadelphia, maybe a few spotty showers, but overall it's going to be the clouds that are the noticeable weather feature on Sunday, with overcast skies and temps around 73 in Philly.
Alex. Alex, of course, it's the first day of fall, but not the end of hurricane season. In fact, a number of very destructive and damaging hurricanes have hit our shores this season. Storm tracker Jim Cantore shows you why it's not good.
Imagery showing on the coast. That's where the water, the moisture is in play, that drier air filtering over Washington, D.C. into West Virginia, where it's been a really pretty day up in D.C. Here's Jacksonville area, where we've got some heavy rain showers on the north and northeast side of town. Plenty of lightning offshore. We've seen a few showers working into far southeastern Georgia and a few showers passing through, say, south central Georgia, at least coastal Georgia. There's a look at some more wet weather off the coast of the Outer Banks. So we haven't seen any of those showers on shore, but we'll be watching those areas as well through the rest of the week. Sustained winds right now near 30-mile-per-hour gusts for Virginia Beach, with sustained winds at 22 miles per hour. Gusts to 36 miles per hour, though, in Hatteras, and in Wilmington, winds have been gusting in the mid-20-mile-per-hour range. Coastal flood advisories are out because coastal flooding will be just another threat from these tropical troubles, or rather these coastal troubles with these disturbances. There's the coastal flood advisory into southeast Virginia, another one up into parts of Maryland. Here's the setup. You've got that high pressure to the north, areas of low pressure offshore, and we put the wind streams on so you can basically see that persistent onshore flow. That northeast wind through the week is going to keep rip current danger up, high surf, coastal flooding, beach erosion, all of those things will be an issue. And notice there's a lot of coastal real estate, Kelly, that is going to watch for that threat for all these problems. Luckily, the weather isn't going to be super inviting to get in the ocean, but you definitely don't want to because it's going to be dangerous.
I'm not picturing crowded beaches
no, I don't think
in a weather situation like
Always
this.
Worth warning, though, because you get the one person who goes, hey, the beach is totally open. I'm going to hop in the water, but the rip current's not what you want to mess with.
Yeah, especially if you're not a strong swimmer, stay out, you know, and only go to the guarded beaches, that's for sure, because the rip current risk is no joke. It's going to be all the way up into the northeast. As a matter of fact, we've got this first disturbance that's moving westward or retrograding back into Georgia. This was actually an invest area that we were watching for potentially some tropical development, but no longer are we thinking tropical. Still, it's going to cause some problems for you. And here's another area of disturbed weather that's going to be moving just off the northeast coast, and that is also going to bring some of the higher wave action, some chances for beach erosion, and the very dangerous rip current risk as well. So we're comparing models. We're always looking at models here at the Weather Channel just to give us an idea of where these storm systems are going to be going. First of all, we look at the American model, the GFS, and we see an area of low pressure begin to develop just offshore Virginia, North Carolina, and then move to this point right here in the Atlantic Ocean by about 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Now, the European model, a similar situation, only it has it developing a little bit closer to the coastline here, just off the coast of North Carolina. So when you get a system that develops closer to the coast, obviously you're going to be dealing with more in the way of rain and even some thunderstorms as well. But we do know it's going to be windy. You'll have that fetch coming in off the Atlantic Ocean, that really prolonged area of wind, kicking up the wave action as well. We're talking waves generally under 10 feet as we go through Saturday, but then we start to see the waves breaking a little bit higher out here over the Gulf Stream by the time we get towards lunchtime on Sunday, but at times those waves crashing a little bit higher along the coastline. So heavier surf, but also we've got the risk for coastal flooding with that wind persistent off the ocean. The rain is also going to be an issue for us as well. We're tracking the rain now along the Georgia coast, South Carolina, North Carolina. Look at that. Some pretty heavy rain looking out over the waters here from Cape Hatteras by early tomorrow morning. Perhaps some thunder, some lightning with that rain too. And when you get some of those heavier downpours, that is really going to fill up the gauges here. We've got showers and storms in the forecast, not just tomorrow, but Friday as well, and on into the weekend. So this is actually a good news situation for those of you that need the rain, like in Charlotte, where the drought has actually gotten worse. So we'll take that. And Alex, I'll just end it on a good note.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Well, as we mentioned, wind, waves are going to have big effects along the coast. Earlier today, Sam Walker updated Sam Champion about the conditions and the concerns along the Outer Banks of North Carolina.